This is Rob Ismay and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so Tyson Fury's youngest brother, Tommy Fury, has agreed with Tyson that this should be Tyson's last fight following Dillian Whyte. So Dillian Whyte should be Tyson Fury's last fight. Now, I made a prediction before even the press conference and everything that Tyson Fury would start putting out the narrative that this will be his final fight. Why? Well, for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is his final fight on his ESPN and Top Rank deal. So him saying that this is my last fight, if he was to defeat Dillian Whyte, of course, then Top Rank could go, oh, he's still undefeated, let's give him another huge contract. It's a bartering, if you like, tool. Also, by saying I'm going to retire is a way of trying to convince people, oh, this is going to be Tyson Fury's last fight. Let's make sure we buy the tickets. Let's make sure we buy the pay-per-view, all that kind of good stuff. A where was you kind of moment when Tyson Fury had his final fight. It's a sales tool, much like it's a sales tool where he says that if England and America end up going to war with somebody, he'll be the first in line, like Usyk and Lomachenko and the Klitschko's are for Ukraine. Again, it's a sales tool. Okay, especially when he mentions America. Why would he say that? Well, because it's on pay-per-view in America. This fight with Dillian Whyte. Americans may hear that and go, oh, he's one of us. Let's click that button. It's a sales tool. And if it works, good on him. Why not? Now, would Tyson Fury go down as the greatest of this era, as Tommy Fury has stated? Well, if you look at his resume, again, if he defeats Dillian Whyte, and it is a big if, okay, if he was to defeat Dillian Whyte, then he would have Dillian Whyte on his resume, Vladimir Klitschko, and Deontay Wilder. That's 3 names. Now, personally, I would throw in Derek Chisora, but most people don't, okay? So that's 3 names. Listen, I don't care if he's defeated Deontay Wilder 2 times, 3 times, 20 times. Makes no difference. That's still 1 name, okay? That's 3 names. Well, 2 of those names, Dillian Whyte and Vladimir Klitschko, Anthony Joshua defeated. So that only leaves Deontay Wilder. Now, people say he's the second best heavyweight. Complete bollocks, okay? Just stop it. Please just stop it, okay? But that said, still a very good win. I'm not saying it's not, okay? But when you look at, say, Anthony Joshua, who he's defeated, would you say that Deontay Wilder has a better resume than Joseph Parker, than Kubrat Pulev, than Alexander Povetkin? Listen, if anybody says, well, Wilder has a better resume than Alexander Povetkin, please just stop it. Okay, just stop it. All right? He does not. Not even close to it. Povetkin is a certified Hall of Famer. Is Wilder? He may well be a Hall of Famer. Does he deserve it? No. Because he's been fighting trash cans his entire career. And let's be honest, the only reason why he fought Tyson Fury is because he thought Tyson Fury was done. Even Shelley Finkel confirmed that. Now, again, just because Joshua hasn't fought Deontay Wilder, well, that's not Joshua's fault that Wilder wouldn't get in the ring with him. He offered him $100 million for 2 fights with him. He wouldn't do it. So what's he supposed to do? Drag him in there, kicking and screaming? Now, that said, now, to say that Tyson Fury would be the greatest of this era, and then you follow it up with, because he would definitely beat Anthony Joshua, that's easy work, and he would definitely beat Alexander Usyk, that's easy work, he would definitely beat Joe Joyce, that's easy work. Listen, you may well be right, but it's still your opinion. And unfortunately for you, the majority of the boxing world don't share that opinion. The majority of the boxing world believe to become the best of any era, you have to defeat everybody in your era, as in all the top guys in your era. Just because Anthony Joshua has a loss to Andy Ruiz Jr., which he then rectified, just because he lost to Alexander Usyk, listen, none of that means that Tyson Fury definitely beats Anthony Joshua. It doesn't mean that. Now, I'm not saying that Tyson Fury wouldn't beat Anthony Joshua. I don't know, because I haven't seen the fight. But just because Joshua has lost a couple of fights doesn't mean Fury can beat him. Doesn't mean that at all. Likewise, I'm not saying that Anthony Joshua beats Fury. I'm not saying that at all. But even if I was, or even if I wasn't, it's still an opinion, isn't it? To say that Alexander Usyk would definitely lose to Tyson Fury, or he would definitely beat Tyson Fury, it's just opinions. So to become the best of this era, You have to well and truly beat everybody in this era. Now, if he was to defeat Dillian Whyte, which personally I don't favour him to, the only thing that kind of concerns me a little bit when it comes to Dillian Whyte is that inactivity. That's the only real concern that I've got. But if he's still got his ring sharpness, I think Fury could be in a whole lot of trouble in this one. That said, I don't know that. Again, that's just opinion. Maybe Fury's going to go in there and absolutely take Dillian Whyte to school, bounce him around up and down off the canvas and knock him out cold. You don't know. I don't know, do I? We don't know. It's just opinions. But for him to go down as the greatest of this era, it'll only be a very, very select few people who will say, yes, he is. He will be. Because they don't know any better when it comes to Deontay Wilder's resume. That's why they will put Deontay Wilder down as a fantastic, great win. Because they don't know the opponents that it is that Wilder fought. They just see the fact that he's knocked out X amount of people, but they have no clue as to who it is that he's knocked out, if that makes sense. I've said it before. Name me 3 opponents that Wilder's knocked out that Tyson Fury couldn't. But yet Deontay Wilder will go down as one of the greatest punchers of all time, right? Will Tyson Fury go down as one of the greatest punchers of all time? No, probably not. Probably not. But reason being is because Tyson Fury didn't fight these trash cans. He actually risked it by fighting tougher opposition. Anyway, listen. If he was to retire, personally, I don't think he will. I think it's just a sales tool. But if he was to retire, no, I don't think he would go down as the greatest of this era. It would be in contention, as I said. Klitschko, Wilder, Dillian Whyte, fantastic wins. They are great wins. As much as I trashed Deontay Wilder's resume, it's still a very good win. At least on paper. So yeah, it could go down as the greatest of this era. But there's always going to be question marks. Just because you beat Dillian Whyte, just because you beat Vladimir Klitschko, just because you beat Wilder, doesn't mean you're beating Joshua. Doesn't mean you're beating Usyk. Doesn't mean you're beating Joe Joyce. And anybody else who's just coming through now, like a Filip Hrgovic, for example, or Tony Yoka. It doesn't mean any of that. It's all just opinion. Anyway, listen, that's my opinion. None of that, what I've just said to you was a fact. It's all based on opinion there. Much like Tommy Fury's opinion is just his opinion. That Tyson will go down as the greatest of this era. But he's going to say that anyway. Of course he is. That's his brother. What's he going to do? Say, nah, I think he's still got a bit of work to do. Of course he ain't. Of course he ain't. But as I said before, I think that this whole retirement thing for Tyson Fury is just a sales pitch. That's all it is. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see for sure, won't we? Because right now, we don't know if he's going to retire. We don't know he's going to beat Dillian Whyte. We don't know that. One fight at a time. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you on the next video.